at the time. I don't see it on here. Yes, it has a tornado possible and a tag on that, and a severe thunderstorm warning for Warren County, Pennsylvania, if I can get that to load here. It also has a tornado possible for that. So there is a chance for tornadoes. The chances, although is very small, at 5% for today. Let's see here if I can put this into loop, and you can see how these storms have developed rather quickly over the past hour. And this morning things were pretty dry, and the National Weather Service was saying that these storms would start to fire up rather quickly, and that they have. This has all come in within the last hour. They have just started firing up pretty quickly coming off the lake. So we'll zoom in here, put that on still. Severe thunderstorm warning here. Lightning, still over 300 strikes. And that one for Erie County, Pennsylvania, goes until 3:45 p.m. We are in a chat too, so I'm keeping an eye on this, although the chat has been spotty throughout the day. The last update we have was for that tornado watch, which goes until 11 p.m. tonight. Conditions are favorable for possible tornadoes. And as you can see, the storms are right now currently coming across in a line. The better chance for tornadoes would be if any of these storms were able to break apart and go rogue from the line and become stronger, then there was a possible chance for a tornado. So we still have that going on, and I wonder if we can switch over to the graphics computer a minute. I can show you the outlooks for the day here. Get that loaded up here. That's not the one I wanted. Give me 1 second. Where is it? Current slide. Yes, there we go. If we could switch over to the graphics computer, I can give you a look at the outlooks for the day from the National Weather Service. This was the storm outlook for today. Enhanced risk for severe storms. The farther east you go, the far western portions of western New York and northwestern Pennsylvania under a slight risk for severe storms. So the better risk for severe storms is farther out to the east today. The wind risk better, again, as you go out to the east, 30% chance in the red for strong damaging winds, and a 15% chance right around the Lake Erie shoreline and portions of far western New York. There, as I said, there's also a small 5% tornado risk across the area, and those, if any of those storms from that cell, from the lines I just showed you a few minutes ago, if any of those were able to break apart, then there's a chance that those storms would become strong to severe. There's also a flood risk today, but that's farther out to the eastern portions of the area. So if we can go back to the radar, we can show you this. We've got multiple severe thunderstorm warnings here. We'll put this into a loop. And I'll turn off the watches so we can just have just the radar going on right now. Again, the severe thunderstorm warning for Warren County, that one goes until I have the right one here. So that one goes until 3:30 p.m. The one for Chautauqua County up here, 3:30 p.m. And the one it goes in 3:45 p.m. for portions of Erie County, Pennsylvania. Other than that, there's not much going on outside these areas, just these severe thunderstorm warnings that have just popped up in the past hour. Now over 500 lightning strikes being reported. I'll check on the weather chat here and see if we have anything new going on here. Nope, still no updates. Chat says the chat is still working periodically right now. So these storms have not yet moved into Jamestown yet, but they will be moving into downtown Jamestown probably within the next few minutes. Bemis Point's coming down pretty good in Bemis Point, coming down pretty good with heavy rain in Panama. Storms are just moving out of Sherman and getting some heavy downpours up there near Cherry Creek as well. But Jamestown, Frewsburg, this storm is coming towards us within the next few minutes, and it will move off to the east as the rest of the afternoon progresses. Down in Warren County, not much happening yet, but you are under a severe thunderstorm warning as the storms will continue to move across the area. Erie County, Pennsylvania, these storms have bypassed Erie they have moved through Erie already, and now these storms are heading towards Corry and Union City as we speak, in Wattsburg as well. So we're still watching these severe thunderstorm warnings. Other than that, there's not much. Do we have an update? I've not seen anything yet. Put in a loop and we can see these storms as they have popped up. Now this morning, it was quiet this morning, and the National Weather Service was keeping an eye for these storms to quickly pop up as they did. As I said a few minutes ago, we are under a tornado watch for all of Western New York, severe thunderstorm watch for Pennsylvania until tonight. Now after these storms are firing out ahead of a cold front, that cold front is projected to move through later tonight. Behind that cold front, cooler temperatures are expected as we go into tomorrow. Still no updates from the chat, although I do hear something going off on the weather radio, so I'm going to try to check and see what that is here. Tornado watch. Oh, it'd be nice if the chat was working right now.
Hey, Andrew, Justin here over on the news set. I just want to dip in to give you a second to be able to find some of those resources. If you're just joining us, there is a tornado watch that's in place for all of Western New York. Now, it's important to distinguish the difference between a tornado watch and a tornado warning, where the tornado watch means that there's a probability that a storm could develop within the warned area versus a tornado warning where there is an active chance that that storm is on the ground. We do have our team out there right now who are currently following this storm on the ground as we continue to cover this. And of course, we ask you if anybody has any weather-related photos or videos that you can safely send to us. You can do so through social media at WNY News Now on all platforms. We'll gladly take them to and share them, and I believe you can even probably comment on some of these live streams that are out there for folks right now. But as you see, center screen of the heavy rain that is now moving in through our area, and in fact, if we can, control room, I know we have the HD News Now cam. Thank you for that. So we can show you that. This is a live look outside of our studio right now onto 3rd Street here in downtown Jamestown. And you see the ominous clouds, but it doesn't look like any rain yet. But I'd imagine, Andrew, that's probably imminent as this strong shower coming through. Do you have a read, Andrew, about how heavy some of these winds might be? Any indication there?
Let's see if I can.
But and while we wait for that, we look here at Chautauqua Lake, and you can see that the rain starting to come down through that way as well. So.
Activity.
But again, this large thunderstorm capable of producing hail as well is part of this system as it moves across areas southward to northward from Union City up through parts of Panama, Sherman into Jamestown, and then up north into South Dayton. Parts of Randolph will soon be getting to see the droplets, and then some of the heavier rain that will likely be coming through here as well as we go over the next few 15, 20 minutes as we see this storm begin to pop throughout much of our area here. So as soon as we're able to get a live feed from our crews in the field, we'll bring those to you here so that you can see those live as well as on our broadcast. But weather-wise, otherwise, Andrew, right now, is there anything else that's really sticking out to you? I know you look at that area above Bemis Point and off to the east. That's quite a bit of lightning in there, and it looks like a huge, heavy swath of rain.
Yeah, it says here, I was looking at the put out from the National Weather Service, severe thunderstorm warning for Chautauqua County with 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail possible. with this storm moving across Chautauqua County, and then goes until 3:30 p.m. for northwestern Cattaraugus County, southeastern. It's also for southeastern Erie County as well. Zoom out a little. Oh yes, a small portion of southern eastern county up there towards the Buffalo area, and of course Chautauqua County until 3:30 p.m. At 2:30, that storm was located along the line extending from near Finney Lake into Cranesville, Pennsylvania, moving east at 45 miles per hour. So these storms are moving relatively quickly, but the threats with these are 60 mile per hour wind gust and quarter-size hail. And possible impacts would be minor damage to vehicles, possible and wind damage to trees and power lines. I'll pull up this other one here for the one in Erie County, Pennsylvania. That one goes until 3:45 p.m. with, again, 60 mile per hour wind gusts possible and hail up to 1.25 inches. Now that is radar estimate. And still the severe thunderstorm warning, nothing has moved into Warren County, Pennsylvania yet as we speak, but it will be moving in there just shortly as well. Let me see if I can pull something else up here. See if the chat is working. Nope, chat is still down. So again, the severe thunderstorm watch, that's the one for northwestern Pennsylvania. That one goes, just checking the time on that. Now, the severe thunderstorm watch for northwestern Pennsylvania, and that one goes until 9 p.m. tonight, and the tornado watch goes until 11 p.m. tonight for across western New York. So these storms that we got now, 5 severe thunderstorm warnings going on as we speak right now across western New York and northwestern Pennsylvania. The rain is looks like just starting to move into downtown Jamestown as we speak. The heavier rain is still yet to move in, but plenty of lightning, over 170 strikes. And it looks like they might have just extended a severe thunderstorm warning. Yep, they extended the one for Chautauqua County. They have actually trimmed it from the northern parts of Chautauqua County, and they have extended it to more portions of Cattaraugus County. So as these storms definitely popping up over the past few hours here.
So Andrew, we're starting to get our first look at some of the live feeds that are coming in to our area. It looks like Chautauqua Weather Today, Sean Sweatman, bringing us a feed now from Ellery Center. And as you can see, one of the big aspects of this storm is just the heavy rain that is coming down right now, and a huge amount, as we saw in that radar picture, that just the severity of the rain really a part of this event. Of course, as you mentioned, hail very possible with this as well.
And because these storms are moving relatively quickly, we're not expecting anything in the way of flash flooding to happen, and the flash flooding chances better off towards the eastern portions of the area. Severe thunderstorm warning continues for Chautauqua County, parts of Cattaraugus County, Warren County, and in Erie County, Pennsylvania, as the severe thunderstorm warning continues. Do we have the radar back up, or are we still watching the feed there? Oh, there's the radar there. So the heavy rain is just starting to move in. It looks like portions of downtown Jamestown. Heavy rain still moving through parts of Sinclairsville and Bemis Point as well, and moving through Lakewood. Severe thunderstorm warning. The storms have not yet moved into Warren County. The rain has, but the heaviest of the storms have not yet moved into Warren County. Just beginning to exit most of Erie County, Pennsylvania. Looks like Erie out in Pennsylvania is in the clear for right now, but we still have a chance for more storms through the rest of the afternoon and as we head into the evening hours, as that cold front is projected to move through later tonight. Now, most of the severe storms are happening now, but when that cold front does move through later this evening and into the night, there is a chance that some of those storms may contain damaging wind gust as well. So I'll zoom back in on the radar here, and in just a moment I'm going to throw it over to Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter, and he can go more into details about these storms, as I will keep the radar on, try to get a broad look of all these severe thunderstorm warnings going on as we speak right now. So again, tornado watch continues, severe thunderstorm warnings continue, and in just a moment, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter will take over. I'm still trying to keep an eye on the chat. The chat looks like it might have been working, but the last update I have is of the tornado watch, so there's no updates on these new severe thunderstorm warnings that have been being extended over the past few minutes. Other than that, zooming out, I see there's a severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued for up towards past the Buffalo area as well. That one will go, that one is until 4:15 p.m., but we'll keep an eye on these storms right now across Chautauqua County. Still the heaviest rain just moving into Jamestown. Starting to move into Jamestown as we speak, and I think Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter is ready. We'll see if he...
Hello there, folks. Yes, so Andrew has been doing great coverage for the past, 20 minutes. I believe we've been on the air. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter here, live in the First Defense Weather Center. And basically what we are watching is these showers and thunderstorms that are moving on through the area. So understand, these are all of the severe thunderstorm warnings, as Andrew has been telling you, that are outlined in these orange polygons. So we also have that tornado watch in place until 11 o'clock for basically all of Western New York. And this is all the area you see here shaded in yellow. We still have a severe thunderstorm watch issued out past Erie and Crawford County, Pennsylvania, further back to the west. So basically, this is the same idea we've been talking about all afternoon long, is how if these storms break out, that there could be a tornado potential. And notice how they're not exactly a solid line. They're very individual type of storms, and that is becoming problematic. And that is why on several of these, the Weather Service has put tornado possible tags on several of these severe thunderstorm warnings, as there is that potential that there could be some rotation going on within here. The severe thunderstorm warning, especially for Warren County, that little sliver of Warren County you see right here, is carrying that tornado possible tag, simply because there could be some rotation in this storm as it comes out of Crawford County. In fact, if we could put the velocity on here, I want to see if we have any signs of rotation going on within this storm, because that might give us a better idea. And it's going to be right about in here. If there's any rotation going on, it looks like it's probably right about in here, just south of Union City. This is likely going to be the area where there's likely going to be some rotation going on in that storm, hence the reason why that storm, that severe thunderstorm warning for Warren County, has that tornado possible tag along with it. So again, scanning the Weather Service chats, again, not seeing much in terms of an update, but we still are watching for these. In fact, let's keep the velocity signatures, the velocity on here, and move this up to Chautauqua County, and let's take a look at those. Because again, there has been, again, a tornado possible tag issued within here. And again, there's not really much in here showing that there is the potential for at least some rotation, at least not on this particular radar display. Not seeing much in terms of rotation with that, but the better chance for that is probably this right here, south of Union City. And again, that storm is going to be crossing over into Warren County, where you're seeing the reds and the greens coming together. That could be some broad rotation going on within that storm. And understand, the Weather Service is not going to pull a trigger on a tornado warning if it's broad rotation. A tornado is not broad rotation. It's very tight rotation that touches the ground. So if this tightens up, more than likely we could have a tornado warning. There is none at this point, but that's something but that's the big area of concern, at least with this storm right here in Crawford County, south of Union City, just south of Mill Village in, actually that's Erie County, correct. So that's actually northern Crawford. I am correct, northern Crawford. And so this is going to be that area of concern as it crosses over into Warren County. We're going to have to wait and see with that storm. Let's put the standard reflectivity back on here, and this will just give you the idea of what we're looking at here. So notice how these storms, again, this is what we had mentioned over the past couple of days, how if these storms broke out and became individual instead of a line, this was likely going to become the main potential here. So notice how they are almost in a line, but it's not a solid line of storms. It's a broken line with these storms being individual. So the problem with that is when storms are individual like this, they don't have to compete with other storms for moisture. So if they're all tight together in a line, then they're having to compete with each other, whereas individual storms don't have to compete for moisture. Nothing yet from the Weather Service in terms of what they're going to do in terms of these current warnings, but we currently do have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings in place. So all the orange polygons you see here are the severe thunderstorm warnings. So Chautauqua, Cattaraugus, Warren, Southern Erie, Northern Crawford. Those are the warnings we're working right now. And notice the amount of lightning output here, 469 strikes. That's a 10-minute interval. And so again, these storms are going to lay down some heavy rain as well. So some heavy downpours will likely be possible here, along with some large hail as well. The upper air dynamics today really do favor some really large hail. There actually is a hatched 15% area of large hail on the convective outlook today, and that's quite rare for our area. So, you know, a 15% hail or that hatched core area could be where we are dealing with some of those large hail cores. It's this black area you see right here. That's the hatched area where the SPC is looking at possibly there could be some large hail within here as well. But most of this at the moment is mainly damaging winds. That's mainly what we're looking at in terms of the threats as of now. We'll put the radar back on. And again, this is what we're looking at down here. I want to go back down to that storm near Mill Village because that is showing signs of at least some broad rotation. And let's put the velocity back on just to see what's going on here. And you can kind of see it's starting to look a little ominous. So again, that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on, and as the velocity data loads in here. So on the newest radar scan, the velocity doesn't look as impressive, but so again, you know, this is the thing, you know, sometimes the velocity signatures can come and go. So that is something that we're going to have to keep an eye on here as the storm continues to move to the east-northeast. That is what we're going to have to keep an eye on. But again, in terms of the velocity signature, not looking impressive as it did just maybe a couple minutes ago. Let's put the reflectivity back on, and you can see there's evidence of an inflow notch right here, and this is going to be that little area of concern right down in here. And so again, there's no tornado warning with this right now, but if this does continue to show signs of maybe some broad rotation, or maybe if it tightens up a little bit, the Weather Service in State College, which serves Warren County, will likely have a decision to make on what they're going to do with this. But as of right now, this is just a severe thunderstorm warning for Erie and Crawford County, Pennsylvania, Warren County, Chautauqua, and Cattaraugus County. All severe thunderstorm warnings as of right now, with the main threats being damaging straight line winds. And I don't know if we have our chaser video back up yet. I know that we had lost contact with them, and this is
Jackson Hickey
okay,
and
Jackson.
Mitch Bellinger together. They were just in Gary, I believe could be Gary Levant Road.
Okay.
And as you can see here, the heavy rain, I mean, visibility is very low in their live shot, as you see right now. And as it's just heavily coming down, it doesn't look like they haven't reported any hail yet in that location, but definitely an extreme downpour as well. I was trying to see if there's any audio, if they can hear us. Let's see if we can. Mitch and Jackson, can you guys hear us? We have you tuned up live if you're able to provide an update. So as we await their update, and of course, you know, we run into that aspect of the cell service, sometimes not the best in rural places of Chautauqua County.
Partner in crime here too.
And it sounds like they're talking amongst themselves.
Yeah.
probably ordering a pizza.
Currently heading north-northwest down Salisbury Hill Road. Just tracking some rotation in some of these storms here. Yep, we're kind of heading up towards the Chautauqua area, just north of Chautauqua. Picking up some minor hook echoes here on radar, so we're just going to go catch up on it and see if we can get some visual on the storm here. But we've got a very active night ahead of us.
So it looks like, Dakota, we might have lost their feed as I mentioned there, but their update on the location, they're at Salisbury Hills Road, and as they're tracking this storm, Dakota, and just looking at that area there in Gary, I believe Ellington, you see the lightning, you see how intense this is. It really is, if anything, right now, that the rain, I think, is, from my perspective, seems to be one of the biggest aspects of it.
Yeah, I mean, as of right now, the main issues at the moment is mainly going to be heavy rainfall, frequent lightning, and the chance for those strong, damaging wind gusts as of right now. So, again, as soon as we get their feedback and we can establish communication with them, we'll take their feedback as well. So the warnings will continue in effect. I was looking at that velocity signature in Crawford County on one of the other radars I have over here, and it's still there, but it's not really impressive. It's this right here, just north of Centerville. That's that little area where there could be at least some broad rotation, but it's not looking as well defined as it did maybe 5 minutes ago. So, but even with that, there has been no tornado warning issued with this. It's just been some area of maybe some strong winds and maybe some broad rotation. So, as the storm continues to move east-northeast, we'll have to keep our eyes on it and see what that storm ultimately does, because if it continues on that track and continues to show some broad rotation, then we'll have to keep our eyes on it, mainly for Warren County. That would be the main county of concern, would be if it crosses over into Warren County, what it could do there. I've noticed it looks like we lost our severe thunderstorm warning for Chautauqua County, and I believe that was set to expire at 3:30. Am I correct, Andrew?
Yeah, expired at 3:30.
Okay, so the severe thunderstorm warning for Chautauqua and Cattaraugus County is expired. So we have no warning there, but we are still dealing with this warning for Warren County, and also these storms coming out of Erie and Crawford County, Pennsylvania. As of right now, the Weather Service will continue the warning until 4 o'clock. And so this severe thunderstorm warning continues until 4 o'clock. There you see the information. Can we pull this a little bit over here, Andrew? This is the info box that tells you the warning here. So it goes until 4 o'clock. Maximum winds is about 46 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour. That's a storm motion. 46 miles an hour, moving pretty rapidly, about 45, 50 miles an hour. And again, we're looking at hail about less than 3/4 of an inch, winds around 60 miles an hour. And again, there's that tornado possible tag, because it is showing signs, because that storm is showing signs of rotation back across there. Not seeing any update yet on that storm. So because that warning for Chautauqua and Cattaraugus has expired, we're pretty much going to focus on the Warren County situation right now, because as we're watching these storms coming out of Crawford and from southern Erie and northern Crawford, they're going to be coming into Warren County. And I was looking at the other radar that I have here, and it looks like that velocity signature might have tightened up again near Centerville. If we could put the velocity back on here, it would be right over Centerville. It's this right here. And that's, ooh, there you go. Thank you very much. This area right here could be that area of maybe some broad rotation. And understand, a tornado is not broad rotation. It's very tight circulation that touches the ground. That's the definition of a tornado. So even though it's broad, this thing could have a chance to strengthen back up. And, we've seen it coming and going. And so we're going to see what we do with this. So again, the severe thunderstorm warning for Warren County will continue until 4 o'clock. And this is going to be the reason why for these storms moving out of Erie and Crawford counties, kind of moving more towards the east. Northeast is going to be the direction of movement, and that is going to be a potential for maybe some broad rotation, if anything, some strong winds. Again, you can see the inbound and outbound wind velocities coming together. That indicates the area where there is rotation. All this pink you see here is what's called range folding, and that's a technical thing. We're not going to get into it, but basically what you're looking for is that little area of spot right there. So the reason we're focusing on Warren County is simply because that's the only warning we have in effect at this moment, minus the warnings for southern Erie and northern Crawford. So we're just going to sit here and wait and see what the Weather Service does with this. The warning for Warren is set to expire at 4 o'clock. Now, whether or not they will reissue this warning, or if they need to be, they will replace it with a tornado warning if this velocity signature continues to kind of tighten up. Now, again, we've seen it come and go. The last few radar scans hasn't looked impressive. Now it kind of looks like it's back again. And so that's what the Weather Service is going to be looking at, is what they're going to do with this. And the other thing, too, is we have a Weather Service county warning area issue here. We mentioned this a lot during weather coverage, but it's interesting to mention this simply because it's a complicated mess, if you really think about it. Erie and Crawford County, Pennsylvania is served by the National Weather Service in Cleveland. Yes, Andrew?
Can I just mention something about that one in Warren County? I was looking at what the National Weather Service, they said that one for Warren County, Pennsylvania is the strongest of all the warnings, so that's the one they're most focused in on, and the one moving into Warren County.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, I agree. And it's this storm right here you see back behind me over Centerville. That's the new radar scan. And let's zoom into that just a little bit, Andrew. And let's get a closer look at that. Again, I was looking at it on the other radar I have over here. And again, you can see where that rotation is. It's now east of Centerville in Crawford County, and it's going to be moving like this into Warren County, likely north of Tiddy Ute. And so that is likely where this is. Actually, Andrew, if you can pull a storm track on this from that velocity signature and extend it eastward, I want to see kind of the communities that are involved in that. And if you can't pull the storm track, that's okay. But I'm going to tell you now, I mean, if you're in Warren County, I would just be aware that there could be a potential that this thing could be dealing with some very strong winds. If nothing, it's likely going to be a very strong wind producer, but we're dealing with some at least broad rotation going on here. And you can see Andrew's drawing the storm track out, and this will likely go pretty much north of Tiddy Ute. And so that is likely going to be the potential track of this thing as it crosses over from Crawford County and into Warren County. So again, because Warren County is served by the National Weather Service in State College, this would be a State College decision on what they're going to do with this. Now, Crawford County is served by Cleveland. Why that is, it's complicated. I have no control over that. Andrew doesn't. It's beyond our control. So, but because these are two separate Weather Service offices, we're going to have to wait and see what State College does with this as it crosses over into Warren County. But there definitely is signs of rotation going on within that storm just east of Centerville, coming up near the county line between Crawford County and Warren County. And we're just going to have to wait and see if this storm structure maintains and if it strengthens. If it strengthens and the storm structure is still there, we wouldn't be shocked if we do see a tornado warning pop up for Warren County. But as of right now, the severe thunderstorm warning stays in place until 4 o'clock. We're actively scanning the chats, and we don't see anything as of right now about a potential tornado warning. Weather Service is pulling a new trigger on a severe thunderstorm warning for, and there it is right there, and it's for that same cluster of storms we've been dealing with, and they have opted to extend this tornado warning, this severe thunderstorm warning eastward now to include the eastern part of Chautauqua County, much of Cattaraugus, and pretty much of Allegheny County as well, now under a severe thunderstorm warning. And it looks like they've taken the tornado possible tag out, and they are just going to go with winds and hail. So that is the good news. There was no tornado possible tagging here, but what we always say, when it comes to thunderstorms, you expect the unexpected. So, and again, this is a live look coming from the Randolph Peaches and Cream Sky Cam, and you can see the rain falling down there right now as well. And there is no rotation going on in that storm either as of this moment, but, you know, things can change in a real quick hurry. And so that's why we have to sit here and watch these storms. So that is a new severe thunderstorm warning for Chautauqua, Cattaraugus, and Allegheny counties until 4:30. And again, this is mainly going to be a damaging wind gust threat and a large hail threat. And that is... Okay.
Sorry, I know I was just talking to Mitch. We're trying to reorganize where we want our storm chasers to go. So
Okay.
I apologize.
No, that's fine. I needed a drink of water anyway, so. Anyway, so yeah, that's our severe thunderstorm warning, our new severe thunderstorm warning for Chautauqua, Cattaraugus, and Allegheny counties. And again, mainly going to be a damaging wind gust threat. Let's go back to the radar. And again, that's the Randolph Peaches and Cream Sky Cam. And you can see this is going to be that same line segment of storms that move through, now trucking on to the east. So again, if you're out towards Randolph, Olean, Steenburg, any of those communities, now, I mean, you know, Randolph, the peak of that's there. Look at all the lightning strikes north of Randolph there. So again, heavy downpours, lots of lightning, definitely some strong winds could be possible here, along with some heavy rainfall as well, as these storms are moving to the east-northeast. So again, that is a severe thunderstorm warning. The Weather Service, okay, that is a amateur radio report coming back from Ohio. So, so again, that is that. Let's go back down to this storm here in Crawford County, going back down to Warren County. That could be a hail core. In fact, can we put the hail threat product on here, Andrew? This will give us an idea of what the hail size could be. The hail threat should be the hail tracker on there. If you can't see it, then we'll just go without it. But this purple core right here could be indicative of possibly a hail core. That could be where the heaviest hail, yeah, right here. That could be upwards of what, 2-inch hail? Can we put the probe on here and see what that is? Yeah, about 2-inch hail. Now again, this is radar estimated hail. That does not mean you're going to see 2-inch hail, but that just means that that's estimated by the radar algorithm that we could be dealing with possibly some large hail within this storm as well. No doubt about that. Let's put the reflectivity back on. And you can see that purple core right there definitely could be where there's hail falling. Let's put the velocity back on and see what our rotational signature looks like. And it's right here. And I will say it does look a little bit more organized than it did. And you can see where the inbound and outbound wind velocities are coming together. That's what we call a rotation signature. And that's where the two inbound and outbound velocities are coming together. So that is coming right into Warren County. It's basically sitting on the county line right now of Crawford and Warren counties, crossing over into Warren County, pretty much north of Titty Utes. So that's pretty much where that storm is going to be crossing over, just to the north of Titty Ute. And so again, even though this is a severe thunderstorm warning, understand the storm does have signs of rotation, and that's something you have to keep an eye on. So again, that's why we're focusing on this, because this is the strongest storm on the board right now. In fact, the Weather Service has mentioned that this is the strongest storm that they're looking at right now, is this right here. And there's definitely no doubt about it. When you're dealing with a rotational signature like that, definitely could be signs of concern. So again, we're dealing with several warnings here. We have that newly issued severe thunderstorm warning for Chautauqua, Cattaraugus, and Allegheny counties for that same line of storms that's been moving through over the past 25-30 minutes. Then we're also dealing with this storm here in Crawford County, which is pretty much now crossing over into Warren County, showing signs of broad rotation, and that is something that we are definitely keeping an eye on. So again, but all of these right now are severe thunderstorm warnings. So we have no tornado warnings right now. But again, you know, things can change very quickly, and that's why you have to keep an eye on things to make sure that, you know, you don't miss anything. Yes, Andrew.
It looks like they just dropped a severe thunderstorm warning for Chautauqua County because it's not showing up on here. I don't know if you see something from the chat, but I don't know if they just dropped it or because it's not showing up.
I still have it on my radar here. Let me.
Not sure if it's just not showing up on there or if they dropped it or not.
No, I don't see a cancellation. I still see it on my radar system over here. Yeah, I mean, I see it's gone from the main graphics system. So I don't see anything in the chat that they dropped it. But yeah, I mean, I still see it over here. So I would say for now, until we get an official word, there still is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Chautauqua, Cattaraugus, and Allegheny, because I still see it over here. So we're not sure. There it is. It just popped back up. So so it's still in effect. The computers are playing tricky poos on us today. So again, so this warning is still in effect for Chautauqua, Cattaraugus, and Allegheny counties. It's that cluster of storms here that, again, we've been dealing with that are moving on to the east-northeast. So again, let's actually take a look at the velocity signatures in some of these just to see if we're dealing with any rotational spots. And we'll kind of zoom into the one that's coming north of to Chautauqua County here and see if we've got anything going on in here. And this is the one that we've been watching. It's now into Warren County, and that rotational signature is still there. And looking at it on the other radar that I have over here, it gives us a little bit of a higher resolution display. And it's still there. It's definitely, the organization doesn't seem to be as good as it was, but there's still signs of rotation there. So let's go back up into Chautauqua County, and again, I'm not really seeing anything here that would point to any signs of rotation. So again, the storms moving through here from Chautauqua and Cattaraugus and Allegheny counties, this is mainly going to be a damaging wind gust threat. That's mainly what that's going to be. The damaging wind gust threat could be upwards of 50 or 60 or 70 miles an hour. Weather Service has reissued the severe thunderstorm warning for Crawford County, which makes perfect sense, until 4:30. They are now going 1.5 inch hail, which again makes perfect sense, as we have seen that this storm has at times shown signs of a hail core along with that velocity signature. So that is a new severe thunderstorm warning for southern Erie and Crawford County. It's basically the same warning, and that hail core is pretty much now into Warren County. And where you're seeing the blues right here, that could be upwards of 1.5 to 2 inch hail. Now, understand, are you going to see 2 inch hail? Not exactly. These are radar estimates. These are radar estimates based on algorithms. So you're not likely going to see 2 inch hail, but it gives you an idea that large hail is a real threat today because the temperatures aloft are very cold. So that will allow the chance for very large hail as well within here as well. So again, and also the hail threat up here as well is a little bit lower with this particular storm here going through the southern tier, but there still could be some small hail associated with that as well. But the really large hail is going to be right here coming into Warren County north of Tiddy Ute, and that really is the main storm of concern across the area. This storm has been showing signs of rotation, and I'm going to tell you, you know, you can see here on the reflectivity display, there's still evidence of that inflow notch where the winds are flowing back into the storm. That would be, if you're looking for any sort of hook for, say, it would be here, and then there's your inflow notch. So there's definitely something going on here but it definitely at this moment doesn't look like it warrants a tornado warning at this point. So again, this is still kind of broad rotation, but again, when you're dealing with a storm structure that looks like this, along with that broad rotational signature, that is definitely something you have to keep an eye on, as these things can pulse up and down like a heartbeat. We've seen that time and time again. The newest velocity scan, I will say the overall velocity signature, and it looks like they issued a new severe thunderstorm warning. And so this is a new severe thunderstorm warning for Warren for that same storm. The thunderstorm wind damage is now considerable at 70 miles an hour. And so understand, the Weather Service just rolled these out at the beginning of the year, these tiered severe thunderstorm warnings. So now you have a damage impact threat on each of the levels when it comes to hail and wind. So considerable is 70 mile an hour wind gusts. So that will likely be the main factor from this particular feature, but they are keeping the tornado possible tag in there simply because there still is signs of rotation, and that warning will now go until 4:30. So this is the original severe thunderstorm warning right here. The new warning is this polygon that extends basically all the way out to the county line. So that is the new severe thunderstorm warning for Warren County, and it's for this storm right here that is pretty much passing pretty much north of Titty Ute, or just west of Titty Ute right now. Hasn't came up on Titty Ute yet, but it's just west of Titty Ute, just crossed the Crawford-Warren County line, and it's going to be moving like this. That's going to be the direction of motion, more to the east. And I will say, once this thing gets close to Warren, we do have a sky cam at the Warren City Bank, and we're going to look at that once that storm gets closer, and we're going to take a look at it and see if we can possibly see something from that particular camera location. But again, you can still see that evidence of that inflow notch back in through here, and so that is going to be the new severe thunderstorm warning for Warren County. Let's go back up and take a look at the warning for the southern tier very quickly. We're not really focusing on the southern tier storms because, quite frankly, this is kind of, I don't want to call it junk convection, but it's not as organized as this down here. So that's kind of why we're not really focusing on it. But there still is this severe thunderstorm warning in place until 4:30. And so again, the main feature with these is mainly going to be some strong, damaging straight line winds, maybe a touch of small hail, and definitely some heavy rainfall and also frequent lightning as well. That definitely could be a potential as well with these storms as well. You can see the lightning indication here. The most amount of lightning looks to be over this storm that's over Little Valley right now across the region here, 174 strikes over the past 10 minutes. So again, that's pretty much what you're going to be dealing with across the southern tier. Mainly heavy rain, maybe some brief gusty winds, and some frequent lightning. So that's the issue with those storms. So as of right now, the main storm, the biggest storm on the board right now is this storm that is in Warren County coming up onto Titty Ute. And this has been the strongest storm of the afternoon, really. This has been the showstopper for the afternoon so far. It is this lone cell out here that is coming pretty much on top of Titty Ute. And I used to go to Titty Ute a lot as a kid. There used to be a great pizza place in downtown Titty Ute back when I was a kid. And man, they had some great pizza then, back then. But I've been in downtown Titty Ute numerous times. So it's coming right up on Titty Ute, moving towards the east. So this is going to ultimately be clipping south of Warren, coming up toward Clarendon and Sheffield. And even though that Warren Skycam is pretty much located pretty much near downtown Warren, we're going to see if we can look south into that storm from the Warren Skycam to get a little bit closer. Particular camera. But that's the main storm of concern. The velocity signature doesn't look as intense. I've been looking at it over here. And the velocity signature just does not appear to be as organized as it was. It's still there a little bit, but it's getting harder to kind of pick out where that velocity signature is. And down in the other box, that's the Warren City Bank Skycam that you're looking at down there. So again, the rotational signature might have weakened off here, and it does not look as intense as it did. I'll tell you, probably about 5 minutes ago, I think that was the most tightest it's been since since the start of the day. That was probably the tightest that velocity signature was. But again, when you're dealing with these kinds of storms today, you're going to be dealing with storms that are cycling. We call these cyclic storms, where they pulse up and down. Sometimes you get 1 or 2 velocity scans where the overall rotation ticks up. Sometimes you get 1 or 2 velocity scans where it goes down and then it comes back again. And so that's what we have to watch for this storm as it continues to move through Warren County. And so again, even though that rotational signature is pretty broad, I would still be ready to go to your safe place. Should be. It's never a bad idea to be prepared. That's why we always tell you the best time to prepare for weather is not on a day like today. It's on a day like yesterday, where it's sunny and 85 degrees.